Well, hello, I'm coming at you from the salmon tender boat that I'm working on here in Naknek, Alaska, on the Naknek River here in Bristol Bay for the salmon season of 2022. Give you a little glimpse of where we're at here. Actually getting a little bit of drizzle even though the sun is out. It's about 10 p.m., sun's still shining. Sun's been setting here about 11:45 p.m. So I'm gonna hop inside here, sit down, and bring you guys up to speed of how I ended up in the middle of this river here on this boat. Okay, so the name of this boat is the Penguin. It is an old World War II scow, which is a flat-bottom wooden boat, and it has been used for salmon tendering here in Bristol Bay for quite a few years after it was retired from the war. So our job on this boat is to buy salmon from the commercial salmon fishermen, and we hold them in our tanks until we're full, and then we go into the cannery that we work for and deliver them there. So this boat actually has 4 big holding tanks. We can hold about 100,000 pounds of salmon, which is quite a bit, and we ice up and water our tanks so the fish are nice and chilled while we're holding them until we deliver. And it's got 2 big cranes that we use to bring the fish on board, and then a small cabin on the back for living quarters. So when we show up here, the boat is still out of the water, so I'm going to bring you back in time a little bit from when I first showed up here. I've now been here for 26 days, so the first week or so we're actually working on the boat out of the water, getting it set to put in the water. We get here early enough to where once the boat is in the water, we want to make sure that it actually floats and doesn't have any major leaks or damage, so they give us plenty of time. If there were any problems, they could actually pull it out of the water, do more work, and hopefully still have it ready for actual salmon fishing season. Well, I went ahead and made a big old mess in here. Doing a little paint scraping. We're going to try to give this place a good new fresh coat of paint, but I still got a lot of work to do here. A lot of overhead scraping, and then I could come back with the vacuum and back it all up. All right, well, we're getting things wrapped up in the galley here as far as painting goes. We're pretty happy with it, and really the idea is just to seal up all the chipping paint. Again, we can only do so much work in here. We only have so much time, and this needs to be dried and aired out before we start living in here. So we kind of just have to make do with what we have and what time we have. But yeah, it kind of turned out nice. We tried to, you know, get some nice lines cut here, and yeah, this is going to be our living space here for the whole season. All right, so this is what we're working on today. The shipwrights come in early. They set us up with all new wood on the bow here. Calling this tiger wood. It looks really nice. It was pretty beat up before, so we're going in and getting some fresh paint on it. Ethan's over here with the roller. Tad's cutting in the line here, and I'm just going in and filling everything that Ethan can't get with the roller. We're getting a lot done on our first day. Looking good. All right, we're on day 3 here working on the boat. We've probably got about another 5 days before this boat needs to hit the water. And the weather has been phenomenally good. Very abnormal for this time of year. It's been clear, sunny, 70 degrees. Usually when we show up this time of year, it is cold and misty and gray, and it makes the painting exterior work very challenging, but we've been able to get pretty much the whole outside of the boat painted. Okay, so there's a special crew here that moves these boats around and gets them launched in the water, so they're getting started this morning. They come in and get it jacked up, remove all these blocks, and then they come in with these things here that's got wheels on it. The boat will sit right on top of that, so they're gonna get that fitted up under the boat here. There's a science to this whole thing, and these guys got it down pretty good, so we gotta stay out of their way, let them get busy. So during that first week that we're here, while we're still working on the boat out of the water, we're staying in bunkhouses at the cannery. They put us up in dorm style bunks, and we're eating at the mess hall. All the food is provided. We don't have to buy any of our own food. It's cafeteria style kind of mess hall eating. It's just decent, gets the job done. Some of the meals are better than others. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day at the mess hall. And that's one of the parts of this job that really allows me to save and bank a lot of money, is that I'm not spending any money while I'm here. All the food is taken care of, and I'm living here, you know, rent-free. It's all included. So it's a good gig in that sense. So down the road in town, there actually is a small grocery store that I could go to if I wanted to buy groceries, but the groceries are very expensive there. I'll give you a little glimpse. I went down there and took some video and showed some of the prices, and everything is outrageous. One of the things that got me the most was a gallon of water was $9.99, almost $10 for a gallon of drinking water, which is crazy. That's more than like gasoline and diesel fuel. So I don't have any footage of the boat being put in the water. I actually got sick during that time, so I was down for about 6 days. My job here is a daily paid position, not an hourly wage. So it's a 60-day contract. Well, it ends up being about 60 days, and I get paid a daily wage. For the whole 60 days, it usually ends up between somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000. Probably this year got a little bit of a raise, so it's going to be more, hopefully, towards about $12,000 for the whole season. So once the boat is in the water and tied off at the docks, that's when we move from the dorms to actually living on the boat, and we continue to stay tied off at the docks there, hooked up to shore power, and just continue to clean up the boat, pressure wash the boat, get everything all in order, so we make sure that we're not going to have any issues for the buying season, because we need to be out there buying fish from the commercial fishermen. So the date I actually show up here for the job is May 25th, and today is June 19th. So that'll give you an idea of how long we've spent getting to this point of being anchored out here in river. This is our first day anchored out here in river, and tomorrow, June 20th, is going to be our first actual buying session, first opening for the fishermen. So they'll go out and fish all day, and we'll be buying fish from them as they come in the evening into late night hours. So every year the start date kind of varies, but it's usually right around June 20th, and things really start to ramp up. We go from showing up here on May 25th and it kind of being a ghost town to things getting really busy. All the fishermen have showed up, all their deckhands have showed up, the processors start showing up at the plant as well. So things really start to get busy, and you can just kind of feel the energy. Everyone's just, you know, all these fishermen are just excited to be getting out there and fishing, and of course be making a lot of money. So you really can start to feel that energy, and you just see all the boats in river. We go from an empty river to just boats everywhere, and it is really pretty exciting. Well, there has been quite a bit of activity here at the docks as we approach the opening of fishing season here. A lot of the big steel seiners are in. Those are tenders, a part of our fleet as well. Most of all the fishermen are got their boats in the water and getting all geared up. We're ready to go, making sure everything is in good running order. And yeah, I thought I'd show you what it's like here at high tide when we're actually floating. I think the last video we were sitting in the mud. This dock does go dry at low tide, so we go from sitting way down. I think the tide is 26 feet. There's very high tide shifts here, can be up to over 30 feet. So we go from sitting down in the mud on the ground to being up almost level with the dock, which is nice. It makes getting gear on and off the boat a lot easier when we don't have to climb that ladder or use a drop line. So our boat is pretty much good to go. We're waiting on our last bit of groceries, and we should be ready to get out on the river and anchor and be ready to buy fish from the fishermen. So we're just kind of going through our last bit of organizing. We have yet to receive our last bit of groceries, but that should happen soon. We'll go over and take a look at the water level here. Yeah, again, we go from being way down in the mud to almost being able to just hop right on the dock here. We are still plugged in on shore power, but very soon when we're out in the river, we'll have to fire up this giant generator. It's pretty loud. It has its own room here, but Any of you watch my videos when I'm out camping, you know how I feel about generator noise, but it is part of the job, so just got to deal with it. Okay, we are leaving the docks for the first time this season. Goodbye, docks. We are heading out to our anchor spot to get ready to buy fish. This is basically, we're coming up on being here a full month. We really don't start buying fish until about a month in. Spend that first month just working on our boat, getting our boat ready. Live out of the boat at the docks here, but now we're departing. We're gonna head out and go anchor out at our spot in river. We iced up our tanks, just 2 tanks. It's generally pretty slow, our first buying sessions. So I normally film that, but I don't on the first run. I need to focus on my task at hand. I want to continue to be asked back for this job. So it's a delicate process as far as doing the filming and working at the same time, but I have a good system down for it. This is where the big barge comes in and delivers all the storage tanks. In my last video, I got a lot of questions on how our food and water get up here. Big barge comes in out of Washington State, docks right here, they unload them and distribute the goods. So we're gonna go upriver a little bit, or I guess downriver, towards the mouth of the river and find a spot to anchor up. That's where we'll be buying fish for the season. We bring in sockeye salmon. It is a cool, misty morning this morning. I think it's only about 50 degrees, kind of misty. There's a fisherman going out. All right, I got to get back to work here. We'll check in when we drop anchor.
Just hang the eye right at the water.
Yeah. We know with that eye. Give that a kick.
Kick it, kick it. There you go.
Right there. Okay.
Clutch down tight.
Yep.
Awesome.
We're good.
We hang some buoys.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we're anchored out here. Our first time being anchored out at our buying spot. It's still raining out there, but we got it nice and warm in here with the diesel stove. Got that cranked up. I tried cooking on this yesterday. It does work. But a couple seasons ago, I bought and brought out this induction cooktop, and it works okay. So I'm getting some bacon going in that. Ethan got his first taste of our job. What do you think?
It was nice, I like it.
Nice. All right, it's breakfast time. Okay, so it ended up being bacon quesadillas for breakfast here. Threw on a little bit of Tabasco sauce. Call that breakfast. Probably wash it down with a bowl of cereal as well. It looks like the rain is letting up out there. We're settling into boat life here in the river. So that's it. That's how I've ended up sitting here in this boat on this river here. It is a 3-man crew. We've got Ethan, the other deckhand, and then the skipper of the boat, Tad, who's been the skipper on this boat for many, many years. He's very, very good at driving this boat and just making this a very smooth operation, very easy to work with. So it really has been a good gig. So we've got more to come in the next video. We'll be showing you the actual operation of us bringing fish in from the fishermen, delivering down to the plant, icing up and watering our tanks, and the whole process. So stay tuned for the next video. Appreciate you guys being a part of this adventure. It really means a lot to me. We'll see you soon in the next one. Peace.